Power for Living with Bishop Dale C. Bronner.
Our choices reveal several things about us. Number one, our choices reveal our thinking. You can tell how a person thinks by the choices that they make. Your thinking reveals your level of understanding and your commitment, but your choices reveal your thinking. Your choices reveal your character. They reveal your character. Your choices reveal your level of maturity. You can tell by what people choose how mature they are. I mean, wouldn't it be something if you went to the store, you got a grown man with you, and he comes out with a bunch of bubble gum and now laters and Cheetos. Ladies, maybe you need to take him shopping before you all get hooked up. You can tell his level of maturity just from his choices. Your choices also reveal your influences. They reveal your influences, not only from the past, but also from the present. Past and present influences are revealed through your choices. Your choices reveal your values. Your choices reveal your priorities. Your choices also reveal your lusts, the lusts that are in your heart. Marcus Aurelius said that the true worth of a man is to be measured by the objects he pursues. The true worth of a man is to be measured by the objects that he pursues. Here's what my friend Stephen Furtick teaches, that one of the most important choices that you make every day is not the choice between right and wrong. The real choice is between good and great. It's not just the base choice of right and wrong, it's between good and great. Are you going to have a good marriage, or are you going to have a great marriage? Are you going to settle for dating a good person, or are you going to wait for a great person? Are you going to raise good little boys and girls, or great men and women of God? Are you going to meet the minimum requirement at your job, or are you going to set a standard with your greatness? And he goes on to say that unfortunately it seems like most Christians will never make the leap to that level. They stick to right and wrong, never realizing that it's entirely possible to live a right life in a wrong way. And in turn, they sacrifice the good, they sacrifice the great on the altar of the good, not understanding the truth. You don't have to settle for something that's just good. Make it great. You got a choice between having a great dinner or a good dinner, go for the great one. If you have a choice between staying at a great hotel or just a good one, go for the great one. Now listen, you know what limits our choices on a natural level oftentimes? Is our duckies, our money. Because how many of you know that if you don't have but $5 to eat lunch, there are certain places that you can't even consider going? You basically have to eat off of the dollar menu someplace. I mean, the choice is already made for you when you only have $5 to spend for lunch. But if you got $50 to spend for lunch, oh, now your options are expanded. I've got more places now that I can go and eat what I want to eat because my options are expanded. Money only expands your options. It amplifies your voice and it expands your options when you have money. If you're on a certain budget, you can only go to this kind of hotel. But if money is not an object, you can go to hotels of various qualities. Now here's the deal. If you're operating on a shoestring budget, you don't have to compromise in fun. You have to increase in creativity. Your creativity has to go to another level to make the Motel 6 a Hilton experience. You understand what I'm saying? You can take a Motel 6 experience and give them one of the most elaborate kind of existences because of the power of choice. It doesn't just have to be this or that. You can expand it with your creativity. Turn on your creativity and make a choice that you are already made in the image of Elohim, who is Creator God. The most creative force in our universe is Elohim, God himself. and you're made in his image. You have more untapped creativity than you could possibly imagine. Tap into it and expand your choices. You'll make your life on a total different level. It'll bless you in an incredible, incredible way. And may I say to you, I love something that Gail Foreman said, that sometimes, she said, you make choices in life and sometimes choices make you. Sometimes your choices actually make you. And what you will discover is that oftentimes we simply seek to live an efficient life instead of an effective life. But Peter Drucker distinguishes the two by saying that efficiency is doing things right and effectiveness is doing the right things. You want to be effective in your life. Your destiny will unfold according to the choices that you make. The greatest power that a person possesses is the power to choose. To choose, the power to choose. Falling into the water is not what drowns anybody. It is the choice to stay there. You don't have to stay there. That's the good news of the gospel. I want to even thank you for getting up today, making the choice to come here. You didn't get here by accident. You came here by choice. Many of you passed by other good churches on the way here, but this was your choice. At least it was the choice of the person driving. Those of you that are tuned into the broadcast, you're here because you chose to tune in. You're here by choice. It's by choice. Someone wrote this little thing entitled, Why Worry? It says that there are only two things to worry about. Either you get well or you're sick. If you're well, that's nothing to worry about. But if you're sick, there are two things to worry about. Either you get well or you die. If you get well, there's nothing to worry about. But if you die, there are two things to worry about. Either you go to heaven or you go to hell. If you go to heaven, there's nothing to worry about. And then he goes on to say, but if you go to hell, he said, you'll be so darn busy shaking hands with your old friends, you won't have time to worry. And let me just tell you this. That was said in jest. Let me just tell you, there is no friendship in hell. I tell you this, I wouldn't be friends with anybody in hell who let me go to hell and didn't tell me. You know, if somebody knew the truth and didn't tell me and let me go and bust hell wide open, and I'm in hell and you come try to slap me on the back of my head, friend. See, the reason that there's no friendship in hell is because there is no love there. There's no love there. There's no love there. You'll discover that wisdom is manifested through our choices. It was Erwin G. Hall that said wisdom is the result when we learn to make better choices. Wisdom, that's the result when we learn to make better choices. But you've got some serious choices to make. So whether you're going to do God's will or not, whether you're going to stay the same, or whether you're just going to change into something better, whether you learn to just be mediocre, you just want to just blend in and you want to be an average Joe, a Josephine, or whether you're going to be somebody that'll stand out. May I just tell you that nobody remembers average Joe. They don't even remember his name. You become this generic average person. Average never stands out. If a young man wants to impress a young woman, he doesn't want to take her to an average restaurant with average food and average service. He wants to take her somewhere exceptional, somewhere that you remember. Make a choice to be memorable. Just make a choice. When you make choices, you got to decide which language you're going to speak. There are only two languages, love and fear. Only two languages. You have to make a determination as to what kind of determination you're going to have. Whether I'm going to give up or whether I'm going to keep trying. You make a choice. You make that choice. You have to make the choice as to what type of attitude you're going to take. There are only two approaches, and that is to make excuses or to make progress. You have to choose one. You can't do both. Thomas Merton said that we must make the choices that enable us to fulfill the deepest capacities of our real selves. And we do. We have to make those choices that enable us to fulfill the deepest capacities of our real selves. And some people never grow because they never make the choice. It's time for you to realize that there are some things that God has set before you, life and death. When you get ready to eat, you are either enhancing your life or you're producing death and disease. Every meal, everything that's set before you. Now you have to make the decision. You say, you know what, I know this is good over here, but I know this one has life. I know this one contributes to high blood sugar. This one contributes to diabetes. But now this over here, this will increase the oxygen in my body. This will help me to have more energy, more strength. Everything that you set before you is life and death. When you get ready to have a meal today, put it to the test. Is this life or is this death? Now I know the death tastes real good, particularly when it's fried. Fried death is, oh. And what you do is that you go around somebody else who chooses to order death. You order life and nibble off of the death on their plate. Order a salad and sneak one or two of their fries. But you know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. My friend Keith Kraft says this. He said, when you let the wrong things go, you let the wrong things grow. It's real simple. Whenever you let the wrong things go, you let the wrong things grow. What is it that you're permitting letting go? Because whatever you let go, you also let it grow. And sometimes, I know that words can hurt, but oftentimes we hurt more people with our silence because of what we let go. We never stopped them. We never corrected them. We never disciplined them. And sometimes the words that hurt the most are actually the words that are not heard. The kind of words that say, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. I love you. The words that are not heard sometimes hurt worse than the words that are heard. Buckminster Fuller said that we are called to be architects of the future, not its victims. We're called to be architects of the future, not its victims. And that happens by the choices that you make. To be an architect of your own future, you've got to make some choices. You become what you choose to become. Don't leave it whimsically up to somebody else. Did you know what Jesus had to say himself? Mark chapter 11, verse 24, Jesus said, what things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them and then you shall have them. And then most people who are crippled in their ability to make a choice will say, Lord, whatever it is that you want from me. No, that's not what Jesus said. Jesus said, what things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you are receiving them and then you'll have them. That's what Jesus said. What things soever you desire, when you pray, you believe that you receive them and then you'll have them. Does the Bible not say, delight yourself also in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart? And most people don't even know what they want. They don't even know what they want. They can't. How can you be expected to choose something you don't even know what you want? You don't even know where you're going. You don't even know what you're called to be and to do. But I love Winston Churchill, who said that the future will be very kind to me because I intend to write it. You ought to write your own future. You ought to want it to be kind to you because you intend to write it. You make a choice and write your own future. But every choice that you make is a statement about your real, true values and your true priorities. It's a real statement. Every day you choose what is of higher importance to you and higher value to you over what is of lesser importance or lesser value to you. And it's impossible to say that you believe in marriage, but you devote no time to improving your marriage. If you do that, then your words are shallow and empty. You can say that you value your family, but if time spent with your family is not all over your schedule, then your family is not your priority.